It's Stephen Lukeska from Christian Music Network, and we're here with Dr. Joseph Opar. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Good, good, good. So tell me about yourself.
Well, I've been a believer since I think it's wow, it's a long time. If I say folks are going to try and guess my age,
Yeah,
I've been
yeah,
a
me too. Yeah.
yeah, I've been a believer since I think it's like 1980. Is it 86? I think it's like 86. Yeah, 85, 86 that way anyway. So, and yeah, I got saved in Ghana where I am now.
Wonderful.
And then I went back to the United Kingdom in 1989.
Mhm.
Went to Bible school at Kensington Temple, International Bible Institute of London. And then I was a missionary for 6 years, up and down the Caribbean and in North America in New Jersey. So I was in islands like Jamaica, Antigua, St. Lucia, quite a few different islands. I was island hopping. I was working as a roadie and also as a missionary. So I traveled with a lot of musicians, and I they used to get on my nerves because they'd be practicing scales and stuff, and then I'm trying to sleep, and they're practicing chord progressions and riffs and stuff like that. So that would always be getting in your head. um, but I used to lead praise and worship as well, so it wasn't that bad, being in that environment. And yeah, end of I think it was, yeah, from the year 2000. I was stationed in St. Martin in the Caribbean, so I pastored there for 4 years. Continued to lead praise and worship, but I was pastor there. And then I left there end of 2004, went back to the UK, and set up my own ministry, Warrior House International. And yeah, I still wasn't able to do my music. I was trying to do my music. Every time I would attempt to do it, stuff would come up, so I'd have to put it on hold. And so I think it was eventually 2017 that way. I had this little MacBook and I started to practice using GarageBand. And friend of mine also started teaching me a couple of things. He's a music producer, well known in the UK and in other countries. His name's Nicky Brown. So he taught me a couple of things, and then I realized that GarageBand was basically a condensed form of Logic Pro, and so I upgraded to Logic Pro, and yeah, I think I released my first single, "I Have a Dream," and I think that was 2019 or so. And then I moved to Ghana ending of 2021. And when I got here, shortly after that, I released my first album. So that is background on myself, a little bit of background musically.
Cool, cool. And you had a group also?
Yes, it's my group I had in Luton in the UK, and then when I left, I had to improvise and start working with other artists because not being in the UK, it made it difficult geographically to work with them. But I know different singers and musicians, and so I started to collaborate also with different singers and musicians to produce stuff. And that's my present situation. I am reforming another group here in Ghana, but until that is completely done, I'm just still working with different singers and musicians to produce my music. But mainly, I do most of the production. I might call in someone to maybe play a guitar because I don't play guitar.
Hmm.
And sometimes I might call in different ones to do backing vocals, but that's about it.
Okay, cool. Cool, cool. So you have some songs here. Tell me about I Will Praise the Lord.
Well, I will praise the Lord. It brings me to my heritage of Ghanaian choruses. When I got saved in the 80s, they would sing that song and, and others. And it would be pretty inspiring. You'd wake up in the morning because we'd have morning prayer. And then they'd be singing and dancing and stuff like that in morning prayer, which was, kind of different for me, coming from a background in the UK where, none of that was going on.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, I decided to do that song and put it in the album purely because of nostalgia and it reminding me of first being saved. And, we did it both in English and in the Tree language, which is the language of the Ashantis in Ghana. And when I was working with the singers, a couple of singers in the US, they weren't getting it.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
because I was trying to make them sing in Tree, and they don't speak Tree.
Right now.
So,
Uh,
yeah. So, so it was backwards and forwards, like,
right.
no, the pronunciation's like this. And they're like sending me back and it's wrong. And I'm saying, no, like this. So, I don't know how finally I got broke it down so that they could get it. And they
Okay.
finally got it. And they were like, wow, yeah, we really like this song. After all that, they were ready to give up, but it was funny how it came together in the end. And yeah, so that was the challenges with that song, but that was great.
Cool. 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 So you also have a song called I Will Be There. Tell me about that.
That song I wrote that song, I think it was like 2013 or 14. And it's some of the songs, they just ring in my head. It's not always just, you get some musicians and they just put some chords together and just write for the wastebasket. But then there's some songs that I hear them in my head and then I have to do them. So it was one of those songs, and I put it together, and I had help from Nicky Brown. He played the keyboards on that, and we put it together. And then I tried to sing lead on it, and I knew my voice wasn't the right fit for that song. And a guy called Gerald Griffin, he's a mix engineer. He did some work with Ice Cube back in the day. He heard it as well and said, your voice is not the right voice for this song. You
Mm.
know, I don't really take offense to that stuff because I'm a producer, so I didn't take any offense. So I found someone in South Africa who was willing to do the song, and his name was T Morgano. So we ended up doing the song with him, and he sang lead. And when he sent me the audio files for the lead, it sounded like a woman singing.
Mm.
I was like, "Are you sure this is you? Because it sounds like a woman singing this." But his falsetto was that smooth. But yeah, it was brilliant. But then that song went on to be the hit on the album, on Spotify and Apple Music. It had the most hits on the album, and the most searches, especially in Brazil and a couple of other countries. So that was a great song to do and put together.
Cool. 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 So tell me about the song Beautiful, Wonderful.
Beautiful, wonderful. I was trying to get back to my Afrobeat kind of, uh, I say roots. And when I say Afrobeat, really, I'm coming from the days of high life in
Mm,
Ghana. High life's a little bit different. It's more of a South American kind of flavor. And then, coming back to Ghana, end of 2021, the young folks here, they're doing this high life thing. And, sorry, not high life, Afrobeats thing.
okay.
So I'm listening to the rhythms and everything. And, I just decided, okay, let me try and fuse Afrobeat with a bit more of an American kind of flavor, choir flavor, which is more me. So I managed to put that together and wrote the lyrics, rewrote the lyrics, and then finally, got the music and the singing together. And then got to a point where I realized it just needed a rap. It needed to go up another level. So I did some searching and I found a gospel artist in Nigeria called Fega Michaels, and she is a rapper. So we collaborated on this project, and yeah, I mean, when she got on that song, it just took the song to a completely different level. Yeah, so I'm glad that I was able to work with her on that particular project.
Great, good, great, great. So, where can we get your music?
It's everywhere. It's on Spotify. If you look for Joseph and the Kohanim, Kohanim just means priesthood.
Okay.
Um, you look on Spotify, you look on YouTube. We've got a YouTube music account. Um, you can look on uh, Apple Music, all the outlets, the major outlets. You'll find Joseph and the Kohanim, and yeah, you'll be able to listen. This year we've got a new album coming out with probably about 10 or between 10 and 12 songs that I'm working on at the moment.
Oh, cool, cool. So, do you uh perform live?
Live, yes, we will be doing some live performances.
Mm,
We were having some issues we got some equipment in to do live performances, filming wise, and then found out that the upload speeds here in Ghana are pretty bad.
yeah.
So the lag in what we're doing, and then when it's time to for YouTube to finish transcoding was so bad that we just realized that we might have to look for a satellite solution in order to do our live stuff. So uh, heard Elon Musk might have some more bandwidth ready, maybe later on this year here in Ghana. So we'll probably try and get a Starlink account and then do it that way because the local internet, the download speeds are okay, but the upload is terrible. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it makes it very difficult to do live.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I know a few people who have been using this Starlink, and they're and they're pretty happy with it. You
yeah,
know, so yeah,
yeah,
yes, yeah. So especially in some areas where they really need it. You know,
yeah.
so yeah, so yeah. Um, that's- so what advice do you have for other musicians?
I would say it's a lot of people are they're in the music, but they're in it maybe for the wrong motives. I believe it's a calling, and it has to be more that music is in you and you have a message to give the world. And it's also for the glorification of the Lord. And so, yes, I agree that, the Lord never put us here to not be successful at what we do.
Mm,
But how you define success will either turn you into how can I put this, a hireling,
Hmm.
or a minister. And when you think in terms of gospel music being a minister, it's not necessarily always about you reaching millions of people if that's not your assignment. Some of what us, our assignment will be for certain songs only to reach a few people. But that doesn't mean you should stop doing what you do. Do what you do because you don't know who you're going to reach and who your music is going to touch.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
that is the message I would like to give
Yep.
folks that are in the industry working.
Yep. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, just put your music out there. Yeah, and let the Lord, l- 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 lead, which is what I always say. You know.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Praise
that's
God.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Yeah, I'd like to thank you for coming on, Joseph. It was my pleasure. Any last words?
Um, be blessed out there, all of you that are doing the music. Shalom, and I wish you all the best, and the blessings of the Lord and the favor of the Lord follow you as you do His will.
Yep.
That those are my final words.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And we're looking forward to your new album coming out. So whenever that'll be. So.
Okay, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that will be around summertime this year, probably around June, July. Um, the next album is coming out, and then later on we'll have some singles. There's some singles in the pipeline as well, right after that.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we'll be looking forward to that too. So God bless you in all that we do. You do and keep plugging away. So
Okay.
God bless you and
All right. Bless you.
good night.
Good night. Good night. Bless you.